We are officially entering the infamous lockdown phase of the rut, and a hunter's report on the state of deer movement will depend on one main factor: luck. Clocking the hours and pinch points as close to doe bedding areas as possible has been a popular play, and judging by episode 14's action, it's for good reason. Diving back in after Hog Jr., team member Kaleb Greiner greets the morning of November 14th with a heavy tag in hand.
Starting off on a positive note, we are covered up in deer. We've had chasing, grunting, a lot of vocalization, but we're back at the same location that we've been hunting the past few hunts. And Hog Jr. has been in the area, but rewind to yesterday, we got out of here because the wind was supposed to be everywhere. East, west, north, south, you name it. What I wanted to do was go hunt the pinch, because it was going to be a southwest wind. It would have been bulletproof. And who do you think was there at 2 o'clock? 20 yards away from the stand was Hog Jr. So it's just hilarious. It's been a cat and mouse game with this deer, and you know what? He's definitely one of the most fun deer I've ever chased so far. So we've got deer all around us right now. We've actually got a little buck coming in too. So I'm just going to quiet down. Hopefully sitting next to this bedding right on this pinch point, right where this man-made pinch point is in this fence gap. Hopefully it'll bring him to us, but I think the midday should be good. I think I'm more hopeful that is probably going to be the time frame that he might come cruising by here. But it's November 14th. We're getting close to lockdown, if not already there. And a lot of these does are coming in estrus right now, so hopefully he gets off a doe, or hopefully a doe brings him to us. See what happens today. Definitely mature. Yeah, that's correct. Gosh, I hope he makes it till next year, dude. He'd be a bruiser. out here. This deer just keeps slipping by us. It's funny, you know, this morning I mentioned we had a bunch of chasing. If you guys can remember, the 8-point that was with him up on this hill was the same buck that was on this hot doe this morning. And he brought her into this sanctuary timber off to our east that we're hunting all this bedding. And sure enough, about 20 minutes ago, I looked up and I saw a pearly white rack and knew it had to have been him. And he was on that doe with that buck. I assume he probably stole that doe from him. And as soon as they hit this green trail that he was on the other day, I thought they were gonna come right down to us and present an opportunity, but that doe took him straight into the bedding. And it looks like they're all the way on the east side of it. So the chase continues, but it's just nice to see him. It's nice to know that he's on a doe, but hopefully this doe brings him back to us and presents an opportunity, like I said. Well guys, this is probably gonna wrap it up for today. Overall, really good sit. Good conditions, just a beautiful day overall. I was reviewing footage from the hunt so far and just looking at Hog Jr. and I noticed that he has what looks like a wound or some kind of bullet hole or puncture. Maybe he got gored by a buck. I was kind of wondering if that might play into how his demeanor's been so far when I've been calling at him. You know, I do regret not maybe giving a doe bleat to him a couple times the other day. I didn't have the call, unfortunately, but maybe that could have been enough to bring him in. But I feel like we're in the game for him. You know, we keep encountering this deer, it seems like almost every time we're on the farm, and every time that we're not on the farm, where I want to sit that night, he is there. So we're getting close. We've got a few more days to get after it, and then I'm gonna head down over to Lee's, and I'm gonna film Lee over the weekend, get after Big O. We're gonna get down and go grab a bite to eat, As always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you back in the morning.
To end the day, yet another cruising buck makes his way through, capping off one of Kaleb's best rut hunts ever. The following day, bow hunters all across Iowa wake up to a blanket of white covering the landscape. After the great hunt the day before, Kaleb Greiner returns to the same stand, assuming Hog Jr. is still locked down with the doe. Hoping that the doe might bring the buck by the stand, Kaleb enjoys another great hunt. Only Guards makes his way by, and with the wind switch forecasted, Kaleb climbs out of his stand, ending the hunt on November 15th. The following day, November 16th, finds Mike Reed back on the river farm, making his final hunt before leaving for his upcoming elk adventure.
Good morning. It is Wednesday, November 16th, and Ryan and I are back down at the River Bottom Farm. As you can see, it's snowing. It's been snowing all morning. We're back on the central timber. I've moved about 120 yards or so from that beaver pond set where we've been hunting, and the last two times we've had encounters with Kelce. This is actually right about where he came through last time. Cut around this corner, came through the slough, and was walking straight up to us. And so with the straight west, we're better off just coming on this side of things and hunting this pattern. There's been a lot of deer that have crossed the slough right here, so hopefully Kelce does the same thing. I am continuing to get some pictures of him, not very many, but he's in that same area on the south edge of the farm, so we'll see. Hopefully he's still looking for a doe. That seems unlikely, so the other alternative is that his doe comes back into the central timber to bed and drags him by us. But we've had pretty good activity. It's a lot of fun to hunt in the snow. It's pretty cold. Real feel of about 18 degrees. It's kind of a mess getting this set in the tree this morning. You know, we got in here nice and early and everything was frozen and full of snow, so it took us a little while to get set up, but we still managed to get set up before daylight. I'm gonna sit back and enjoy the morning, and hopefully Kelce shows up.
While Mike settles in scanning for Kelce, 35 miles to the northwest, Kaleb is back in the pinch stand for another hunt.
Welcome back to the pinch, boys. It's Wednesday, November 16th. So far, we're starting off strong. Got a lot of bucks, a lot of does that have come by within bow range, and they're working this draw going back into the sanctuary part of this timber where we've been hunting. We could have a chance on them today. I mean, I think that they're gonna be moving all day. And before I forget, if you guys have noticed the past 3 days, these deer have been hitting the vine scrapes like crazy. I'm not saying that they're gonna come into it, but if you guys can recall in the summer, I said that this vine scrape can be used as a weapon. If you put it right in front of their face on their travel corridor, they're gonna hit it every time they walk past it. That's exactly what these bucks and does have been doing today. I mean, they're community scrapes, so they're doing their job, but got a northwest wind. It should be snowing most of the day today, but this ozonics is covering the backside of the tree, and we've already been fooling bucks right behind us, so it just feels right today. It feels like today's the day, so I got high hopes today, boys. We'll see.
As Kaleb tucks in watching deer filter through, back on the river farm, Mike is also enjoying good deer movement.
Like a 35-yard broadside shot right now. God. Hopefully their background set doesn't bother them. That's encounter number 5. I spotted that doe crossing the slough and getting on that lane that our other stand's on. And then I could see him back behind her in the slough. And like I mentioned earlier, the pattern has been they walk up this little ditch and they cross right here. So I thought for a second, man, we're gonna have them work right in. What's crazy is when we walked out the other day, and actually the last few times I've been there, I've been eyeballing a red oak, a pin oak over there. And after seeing all the deer walk through there, I was like, man, we need to get a set in that tree. And that's actually where I planned on hunting this morning. From a distance, a lot of times trees don't look quite as big as they are. And so we snuck up to that tree this morning in the dark. And it just was a little too big. I didn't feel safe. There was not enough of the rope on the sticks through the cam. They walked to the base of that tree. So, and they just worked through. The closest they were was 75 yards. It's beautiful. It's fun to see him in the snow, but boy, I want to get him in bow range.
November 16th produced great hunts for both Mike and Kaleb, but neither were presented with a bow shot opportunity. The following morning, Kaleb hits the woods with a high level of anticipation. With the timer hitting 72 hours since Hog Jr. was spotted locked down with his doe, Kaleb hopes the buck is finally alone out searching.
That one's gonna hurt you guys. Jacob and I have been hunting so hard, putting all these all-day sits, all-nighters. I mean, multiple days of 2 hours of sleep, 1 hour of sleep. And right away this morning, we got set up. Jacob was doing a pan, and I was just glassing over here to the left, seeing if any deer are coming back from the sag, and I heard crunching in front of us. And of course, it's Hog Jr. And turned around, told Jacob big buck. We got on him, and I mean, he used the trail that barely any deer used yesterday. And I mean, you got to give up something. And I've hunted this stance so many times with a southwest wind, and it's been bulletproof. But I forgot my ozonics today. I mean, I didn't put it in my bag when I left the house this morning. And he got our wind and made his way back towards this corn. I mean, maybe there should be a lot of deer coming back through here still, so maybe he gets on a doe and she brings him to us. But the chase continues, and today's the last day I can hunt till next Monday. I gotta go down and film Lee on his farm, get after one of his bucks. And I mean, we were so hesitant on whether or not to come in here and hunt today because we got so much work to do. And we were like, you know what, we haven't seen him the day before. We didn't see him yesterday, so we got to see him today. And sure enough, the first deer that we see. It's just kind of comical at this point, so let's stay at it.
With a short trip scheduled to southern Iowa to film Lee Abraham and plenty of good days ahead, Kaleb Greiner has time to decide on his next move for Hog Jr. Three days later, back in northern Missouri, team member Tyler Behlmann continues his season by filming others. After tagging out back in late September on the monarch known as Crab King, the epic season didn't stop there. Trading in the bow for the camera, Tyler accompanied Justin Lubrecht on another great hunt, and now he's trying to do it again. This time, he's heading out to hunt with brother-in-law Jimmy Manaska, who's trying to tag his second deer ever with a bow.
Well, before I hit the road here to go meet Jimmy, I better give him a call. Just make sure he's ready to go.
Hey, man.
What's going on?
Just getting ready. You ready?
Yeah, I was just making sure you weren't taking a nap and gonna miss it or something.
No, I'm in the car right now. You heading up there?
Yeah, that sounds good. I'm getting ready to hit the road. We're gonna have to get going though. We're gonna be cutting it pretty close. We're just gonna have to go get in a tree, and deer should be moving pretty early tonight.
Yeah, hope you dress warm. It's gonna be cold.
Yep, I'll meet you at the farm.
All right, I'll see you up there.
Smoke deep, buddy. Yeah. Oh, he's bleeding everywhere. Let's go, baby. Oh, nice shot. Bleeding everywhere. Nice shot. I put that 40 bout on his shoulder. There he is.
Man, what a toad. It's the evening of November the 19th, and as you can tell, Jimmy had a little bit of luck again. Seems like a few short months ago we were sitting behind a different deer, and that happened to be Jimmy's first buck, and this is Jimmy's third sit, Jimmy's second buck. So we went into the farm tonight with this buck in mind. Justin and I have had several pictures of this deer the last couple years, and he just seemed like a bully buck, you know, not a whole lot of potential, and obviously had some luck on our side. We seen a boatload of deer tonight. The conditions were perfect, very cold, and so much fun to come out here to the farm and get to share these moments with Jimmy. I think he's hooked even more than what he was last year. He had a tremendous hunt to start out his career, and then follows it up with another quick hunt. So I guess we're just got to keep doing this. So.
Oh yeah, couldn't be more excited. I mean, I came up here with no intention of even shooting a buck. Just wanted to do some doe hunting, fill the freezer with some meat, and Tyler mentioned, you know, this was on their radar. They wanted to shoot if we could get them in range, and I couldn't be more happy to have them sitting here in front of us now, and just appreciate you sharing your passion with me.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't change it for anything. Congratulations on another good buck, Jimmy.
Thank you.
Jimmy wasn't the only bow hunter celebrating. 450 miles to the west in Kansas, team members Josh Launch and Adam Treese are also on stand.
Did we just do it? Did we just do it? Dude, there's a poke. Thank you, God. Dude, you drilled him. You drilled him.
500 miles to the east of Josh, team member Chad Holmes is also experiencing great hunting in central Illinois, playing cat and mouse with his target buck. The following day, November 19th, finds Chad exchanging the bow for the gun, ringing in the firearm seasons.
Well, that's all she wrote. It's good to finally break the ice. Couldn't be more thankful. First buck of 2022 for me.
This deer just keeps slipping by us. The 8-point that was with him was the same buck that was on this hot doe this morning. I assume he probably stole that doe from him. The chase continues, but it's just nice to see him. It's nice to know that he's on a doe.
That's encounter number 5. I spotted that doe crossing the slough and getting on that lane that our other stand's on. And then I could see him back behind her in the slough. It's beautiful. It's fun to see him in the snow, but boy, I want to get him in bow range.
Couldn't be more excited. I mean, I came up here with no intention of even shooting a buck. I couldn't be more happy to have him sitting here in front of us now, and just appreciate you sharing your passion with me.
Yeah, man, I wouldn't change it for anything. Congratulations on another good buck, Jimmy.
Thank you.
With the does being our make or break as bow hunters, we find ourselves on either side of the coin. Jimmy Manaska's hunt for the Missouri Bruiser showed that in the blink of an eye, a full season can come to an end as quickly as it begins. On the opposite side is Kaleb Greiner, who despite all efforts can't seem to catch a break in his quest for the pearly antlered monarch he's staked his entire season on. And Mike Reed finds himself somewhere in the middle, torn between going on an elk trip of a lifetime and leaving behind his daylight walking nemesis, Kelce. The good news is we are finally approaching the downhill slide of the lockdown period, and with this comes the opportunity to catch a mature buck alone, if only for a day. With only 10 sunrises between us and the end of the month, the time to get aggressive is now. Maintaining laser focus and paying attention to the details will be the difference maker as we continue to make each hunt count, chasing November